Hello and welcome to the BeeRPad. Guys, American Thanksgiving has just passed, and Marcus and I are feeling thankful. At least I am.
Eh.
Well,
I
there's
tell you what,
there's
there you go. I feel more thankful if my camera actually showed more of me
yes, I
because
think the
I
audience will
am
be thankful.
exactly. That's what I like to see. There you go, more of me.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's what America tunes into. God damn it!
How was your Thanksgiving, Marcus?
It was fine. It was. I mean, look, it was lovely. We went to have Thanksgiving with friends. They do a little friendsgiving kind of thing. That
Yeah.
is always wonderful. But I'll be honest with you, it's not my favorite holiday. It's obviously a
Yeah.
uniquely American holiday. Um, I view it as a cock block on Christmas. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't see the point of dragging kids all the way home from college or wherever in November for them to do the whole thing again 3 weeks later for Christmas.
Right.
The use of turkey, when turkey is a Christmas dinner thing, where I come from anyway, is
Well, turkey is an American domestic bird.
well, I don't care. I'm sorry. Damn it, British Christmas is turkey dinner. Thank you very much. Um, so yeah, I mean, obviously, the other thing is that, and I'm glad to see that Americans are finally getting around this. But for the longest time, you'd go from Halloween, and then you'd have nobody would do anything Christmassy until after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Whereas in Britain, Halloween finishes and they're like, oh, good, thank fuck that's gone. Christmas! And trees go up and decorations go up everywhere. And Christmas music's blaring out of the speakers in every store. And every pub is like, Christmas is 2 months away. Get drunk. Um,
So right in November, early November, I
right.
think it's.
Yeah. But it's actually changing. I mean, so when I first moved here, it was like, why is nobody decorating? What's going on? Um, and so since then, it's been a case of watching America become a little more attuned to it. More and more people have their Christmas decorations up early. The
Ah,
malls are doing it earlier because obviously they're trying to get more people in. And I'm a
right.
big fan of that. I'm a big fan of that. I mean, thanks if you want to have your crazy Thanksgiving, which just seems like an excuse for old family members to go, oh, I saw a trans and she, it was black. And oh my God, Donald Trump was right. You know, that seems to be the main reason for Thanksgiving is that you've got racist offensive grandpa slash uncle slash auntie whatever who just wheels out, complains about everything, steals 90% of the food to put in the Tupperware containers that they've brought with them, and fuck off again for another 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it seems pretty pointless to me. But again, I am not an American. I am a filthy foreign type. So God bless you all. I pat you on the head and say, oh, you have your red-headed stepchild of a national holiday. Don't worry.
It's interesting that you mentioned that you noticed people are starting earlier because that seems to be a thing with more seasons and more holidays now. I blame Starbucks for selling pumpkin spice lattes in August. I
Well,
hate
again, I mean, look, you want to talk about something that's incredibly offensive. A
pumpkin
pumpkin
spice
spice
lattes.
latte is
Yes.
obviously one of those things. But I also think that Starbucks does do this with regards to dropping the Christmas cups in early November,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is good. And I will say kudos to them. And they return with, which is, I have this one, the mocha peppermint frappuccino. And I'm like one of those every calendar year.
Yeah.
I have to have the pumps because it's too sweet with all the pumps, but there is some, that is a good Christmas treat for me.
How many
Um,
pumps?
well, it depends on if I want a tip or not.
So this is our Thanksgiving episode, and the world is very crazy right now. We have two large wars going on. America is very divided, but I want to talk about things that we should be thankful for, or that we're thankful for personally. And we want to hear from you about what you're thankful for. But Marcus and I have a list of 5 things each that we were thankful for. And I will kick things off with Mr. John Frusciante, the guitarist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who
Okay.
quit, came back again. So during COVID, one of the first things I did was I picked up an acoustic guitar just to have something to do, keep my mind occupied. And to be learning something. And I haven't played guitar in such a long time, but I remembered why I loved playing. And quickly after that, I picked up an electric guitar and an amp and a bunch of pedals. And now I'm a full blown guitar nerd again. And a lot of the electric stuff I play is from John Frusciante. I love his style. Out of the modern players, I love his style. It's very melodic. It's not most of his songs aren't insanely fast. Like sometimes I hear Steve Vai or Eddie Van Halen, and it's like an alien language to me. But Frusciante is very much rooted in that Jimi Hendrix bluesy style, and his stuff is sounds very beautiful for me, but also being very accessible. And I play his songs pretty much every day. I'll play, like Under the Bridge, Can't Stop. I started learning. I try to learn a new song every quarter. Right now, my Chili Peppers set is 4 songs. I don't play any of them well, of course, and I probably never will. But John Frusciante motivates me to keep playing, and I love listening to his music. I love playing his music, and I am thankful that he is around and inspiring me and others to play guitar. Now let's go to your first pick, Marcus.
That's a very nice pick, by the way.
Thanks.
My first pick is a Welshman named Russell T. Davis. Now, Russell T. Davis is a award-winning writer and producer in the UK. He created the original Queer as Folk. He has done a number of other TV series. But the one that holds the place in my heart is he was responsible for the reboot, 2005 return of Doctor Who, which is obviously my favorite TV
Right.
show of all time. Um, and in 2005, he brought Christopher Eccleston back and to be the Doctor, and Billy Piper as Rose Tyler, and he shepherded the show for several seasons, introducing David Tennant, Catherine Tate, and a bunch of other excellent actors. And the show was so popular, and it just made me so happy. He left the show, and then we've got a couple of other showrunners with varying degrees of success. Stephen Moffat, who co-created the reboot of Sherlock, he was on it for a while, and he had a very up and down, uneven run. And then, unfortunately, the last run that we've had for the last 4 years was by a guy named Chris Chibnall, who single-handedly ruined Doctor Who. Not because he cast the first female Doctor in Jodie Whittaker. She was brilliant, fantastic actress, but she was of such dross that it became a chore to watch the show. So much
Um,
so I watched every episode of that run, and I've never rewatched any of them, which is a
wow.
first. But Chris Chibnall walked away, thankfully, when Jodie Whittaker finished her stint.
Right.
And totally out of left field, Russell T Davies comes back. Because this is the guy who also created Torchwood, which is a more adult sci-fi show, the Sarah Jane Adventures, which is more which is more of a kid show, and these are all part of the Whoniverse, which is I used to call it the Whoverse, but apparently the official vernacular from the BBC is the Whoniverse. And anyway, so he brought, he came back, and the first thing he did blew us away. Brought David Tennant back as the Doctor, as the 14th incarnation of the Doctor. At first, you never see the Doctor revisit an old face until now. And as of actually this past Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. on Disney Plus,
That's right.
the Star Beast aired, which was the first of 3 60th anniversary specials, because Doctor Who turned 60 the week before Thanksgiving. Actually, no, I think it was on Thanksgiving. Yeah, turned 60 on Thanksgiving. And it was everything I hoped. It was fun. It was light where it needed to be. It was comedy. All the actors were on their game. Great special effects. Lots of Disney Plus had obviously paid a huge fee and invested in the show to have the worldwide streaming rights outside of the UK, and it showed. The budget showed. The VFX was on point. Very cool little things, the inside of the TARDIS, the sonic screwdriver. But all this comes down to Russell T Davies, and he has basically brought the show I've loved the most in the world back from horrible life support to almost universal acclaim from the media and most sensible people. Now, Russell T Davies is also a gay man. And with that in mind, he does write characters that are diverse, and he does bring in this last episode, for example, we did have the first trans female
Ah,
in Donna Noble's daughter, um, played by Yasmin Finney, and so she was the first trans actress to be on the show. We had a another other abled. I'm not sure how you pronounce how you phrase it, but basically a lady in a wheelchair who was the scientific advisor for for UNIT, which is like Shield, but in Doctor Who parlance. And there were a lot of other things that he's brought in over the years. I mean, he has brought gay characters and lesbian characters, lots of cool things. That went down really well with a lot of people, a lot of smart people who realized that science fiction has always been inclusive and progressive. And
yes.
they do have, however, a bunch of review bombing idiots, neckbeards, who are, oh, I don't want to see
Mm,
trans, I don't want to see a woman in a wheelchair, blah, 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 who are really complaining. And it's like, oh, this isn't Doctor Who, this shouldn't be like this. Well, guess what? Suck it up. This is the way society is, and Doctor Who's always reflected society. The next Doctor is a black man in Ncuti Gatwa. So,
yes. Who we've seen in Barbie.
yes. So suck it up, Buttercup. The Doctor is awesome. Again, thankfully, and thanks to Russell T Davies, who is somebody I am very, very thankful for in 2023.
I love that you made that pick for two reasons. First, I know how much Doctor Who means to you, but also one of my pet peeves with American pronunciation is with the surname Davis in the British sense. I remember James Hetfield was inducting Ray Davis from the Kinks into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he kept calling him Ray Davies, and he was driving me nuts. And
Well, you got to remember that Davis is actually a Welsh name. It
aha,
is a Welsh name, so it's Russell T Davis, not Davies, not
yes,
Davies,
yes.
Davis. And
Now,
Russell from Swansea.
aha,
Actually, Port Talbot. I think he's from Port Talbot. Michael Sheen territory, Anthony Hopkins, and Richard Burton territory. I
wow.
think that's where he's from. But yes, and we actually share a little bit of commonality. We were both members of the West Glamorgan County Youth Theatre. In our youth, he preceded me by about 3 or 4 years. But I was also a member when Michael Sheen was a member. So
You were both West
that was
Side.
fun. We were West Glam. West
Aha.
Glam, baby. Boom.
So my number 4 pick is also on Disney Plus. It is the Ahsoka television series. As you know, Marcus, and a lot of the viewers know, Star Wars Rebels is my favorite Star Wars anything pretty much since the original trilogy. I love these characters, and I was looking forward to this because this was really Rebels season 5 more than it was an Ahsoka show. So seeing Sabine Wren, seeing Ezra Bridger in live action, Harrison Dula, that it was so awesome for me.
Copper.
Chopper, the best murder bot in the Star Wars universe.
Until HK-47 makes his debut at some point, which you know he's going to do.
Yeah, but Chopper will still have the higher body count, so it depends
I
what
don't
you
know.
want.
I think HK. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't mean to say sidetrack you, but they could actually give they could be a really cool version of R2 and 3PO, a
That would be
murdered version of
incredible.
R2 and 3PO. But anyway, you're
I'd
right.
watch that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely watch that. And even Clone Wars, which I really enjoyed, though not as much as Rebels, seeing a younger Anakin and a young Ahsoka in live action, that was just incredible for me. My favorite jaw-dropping moments on TV was in Ahsoka because of how much I loved Rebels and to a lesser extent Clone Wars. The series itself, there were some things you can criticize. I know you had some issues with it that um, I overlooked because I enjoy these characters so much, but man, oh man, if you love Star Wars Rebels, if you love Clone Wars, then Ahsoka was just incredible for you as a fan. And the casting was spot on. Of course, Rosario Dawson is a fantastic Ahsoka. Natasha Liu Borgizzo is a fantastic Sabine Wren, and the guy that played Ezra, whose name I spent like an hour memorizing before the show, but totally escaped my mind now. He totally nailed an older Ezra for me. And of course, Chopper is just always voiced by Dave Filoni. He seems clearer to understand in the series than in the show. That, or I'm just getting used to the sounds he makes, which could be a troubling sign. But yeah, Ahsoka was easily my favorite new TV show of 2023. Now, moving into the gaming world, what is your pick, Marcus?
So number 4, I am going for what we used to call back in the day an expansion pack. Now it's DLC.
Right.
And it's the DLC for Cyberpunk 2077. It is Phantom Liberty. And I was a little late to the party because I was playing Starfield and a couple of other games. And I really want to get through them before I tackle Phantom Liberty, because what CD Projekt have done is they have finally fixed Cyberpunk. Now, I've always maintained it's one of the best games of all time because I never had a lot of the problems many people have because I was playing on a fairly kick-ass PC. But since they've released Phantom Liberty, they have upped the game to version 2.0. They've redone the entire skill set. They've improved the police. They've improved the driving. They've added slews of new missions. No, I mean, these are outside of the Phantom Liberty missions. And they elevate the game to a whole new level. It's a cyberpunk GTA in a lot of ways, but with way better graphics. Night City has never looked so good. And then you throw in, Phantom Liberty, which has Idris Elba as one of the main characters. And so you've got Idris Elba and Keanu Reeves, because he recorded a bunch of new dialogue for the inclusion in Phantom Liberty. And it opens up a new area, and again, more new missions. There is one mission in there that it comes close to the end of the Phantom Liberty segment, if you will, where you are trapped in this underground huge bunker, and you have to disable, or you have to get to a control room and disable something. The entire time you are being stalked by this killer murder monster bot that looks like Ed 209 from RoboCop, but basically just wants to stab you in the skull. This thing you cannot fight, by the way. It really gave me a Alien Isolation vibe, and it's one of the best missions. It's a long mission, and it's one I do not want to replay anytime soon, which sucks because I missed picking up a particular blueprint for something I need to manufacture later down the line. But it's just an excellent expansion. And I mean, we won't be getting any more new content for Cyberpunk, which I think is a big mistake from CD Projekt, because there's so many more stories that can be told. There's so many, they can expand that city more and more. There's still stuff that can be done. But I've got to say that it is the best, it's now officially the best game I've played this year. And it actually hands Starfield its ass on several plates, because Starfield, when we had that initial discussion, I was all into it. I was enjoying it. I played through and went into New Game Plus, and I haven't touched Starfield in about 6 weeks. Because when I started playing Phantom Liberty, I could see all the problems in Starfield, which sucks, because Starfield should be an amazing game, but Starfield has not learned from any of the mistakes made from Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 in particular. Horrible engine, too many repeated cutscenes, which is a shame. So I will not give thanks for Starfield, which surprised me, but I'm definitely thankful for CD Projekt Red for delivering the definitive version of Cyberpunk. And if you haven't played it, and you like action, and it's more grown up, and there's violence, and there's cars, and there's huge storylines and great characters, you've got to play this game.
Fantastic. Now, speaking of things that might not be getting more content, my next pick is Ted Lasso, which it might be my favorite show of all time. I really need to give that more thought. But there's so much I love about this show: the writing, the performances, the specific humor it has, where it's just more uplifting and hopeful and positive than most popular shows. I mean, I love Veep, but there's so much punching down in that show that it can be a bit much. So getting a show like this, especially when it started during the pandemic, it was the show a lot of us needed. And it just grew with more seasons, and my love for the show just grew. And no matter what, I will watch any episode. I could pick any episode of Ted Lasso, and I know that 35 to 40 minutes later, I will be in a better mood. And it got me thinking about what is it about the show that makes it unique? Why do I love it so much? And I read an article in the LA Times where Jason Sudeikis, the creator and one of the actors in the show, he said that Ted Lasso is not a show. Ted Lasso is not a character. Ted Lasso is a vibe. And that's really pretty much it. That's the best way to describe it. There's this Ted Lasso feeling, even though they want it to be the Richmond way. It's yeah, there's just something about the unique combination. It was the perfect confluence of writing, of actors, and some days I'll be in a Ted mood where I'm generally positive and want everything to be well. Some days if I have chronic pain, I will be Roy Kent and will be dropping F bombs with every step I take, which actually my cursing did get worse because of Roy Kent in particular. Some days I'll be in a Jamie Tart mood where I'm just overly snarky and in prick mode, and someone
You've
needs to
gone
give
full,
me the signal to
you've gone full chav.
yes.
That's terrifying.
Then I'll carve one of my eyebrows like. But yeah, it's really, it might be my favorite show of all time. I am very satisfied with the way it ended, although I do hope there is more. There's a spin-off. There are rumors that there will be a spin-off called, The Richmond Way, without Ted, but with the other cast. But even if there's not, I'm happy for the 3 seasons that we had. It was just wonderful.
I agree with you on how good Ted Lasso was, and it's. I mean the message I always get from it is be kind, be better,
Yeah.
and I think it does work well because, and it did hit at the right time, because if it had come out 12 months earlier and we weren't in the grip of a pandemic, it
Right.
might have been brushed over as this twee saccharine, so sweet it's giving you diabetes kind of show. But when it aired during the pandemic, we needed that because we were
Yeah.
all in a bad place.
Yes.
And it hit. I mean, it really just hit the zeitgeist and owned it. I mean, 2020 was the summer of Ted Lasso. I think we're all the better for it. And season 2 and season 3 just continued to deliver. I personally think Richmond should have won the title. They should have gone full Leicester because it just would have been full on fairy tale. But maybe they didn't win because there is an eye on a spin off. If you do want to see the Ted Lasso cast reformed for even a slight little bit of time, the Hannah Waddingham Christmas special is on Apple TV,
Yes.
and it's an old school variety show, and there are numerous Ted Lasso related cameos. So yes, that's something I thoroughly recommend to put you in the festive mood.
Yeah.
But
There's
Hannah
music.
Waddingham,
There's
oh my
sketches. It's
God, she's such a powerhouse, such a bundle of joy, absolutely statuesque and gorgeous. I'm just going to say it. She's gorgeous,
oh yeah.
but also, God, she can sing. I mean, you
Yeah.
can see all the musical training. We saw it when she did Let It Go in that first season after the Everton game. But yeah, she is such a talented performer. I'm so glad a woman at her age is getting all these kudos,
Yes.
all these plaudits, and all these parts. She's in Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 2. She's in a slew of stuff moving forward, as she should be, because she is undoubtedly the breakout star of that show. And I am with you. I mean, I have more Roy Kent days, especially this past
Oh,
calendar year.
right.
I have been very much Roy Kent. I mean, Kent. I'm British. I can say it because Roy says it. Yes. So I'm with you on that one. You know how much I love Ted
Yeah.
Lasso.
And speaking of Hannah, such a difference from the first time a lot of us saw her. I mean, I didn't know she was until Game of Thrones when she was the shame lady. And
Yeah.
then now that we've seen her not in a nun smock or whatever they're called, and yeah, she's just radiant.
Well, the other thing is, just remember when we first started watching, we felt it was a Major League
Right,
knockoff,
right.
and she was going to be the evil bitch, and her character just evolved, and that's the thing that I love. Every single character evolved
Growth.
in
Yes.
a positive way, in a not so positive way. We had our Empire Strikes Back moment, and then we had our everybody's favorite little Ewok
Yeah.
come back to Richmond after dallying with West Ham.
It's funny. Someone did these decorations for Ted Lasso with each character and a word that described them. And Roy's was grow, but then apostrophe or parentheses L. So I thought
Well,
that was perfect for him. And speaking of radiant, you are talking about a very radiant weekend on several levels next.
I am. I'm going to talk about the weekend of Barbenheimer,
Yes.
um, which was such a surprise when the Barbie movie was announced. Ugh, God, they're making that. I mean, we'd all seen toys turned into movies. Anybody who saw Battleships would be like, "Ugh." And then we had Oppenheimer, which was I mean, I felt it was going to be dry. I mean, despite Christopher Nolan being a fantastic director, I mean, it's like 3.5 weeks of a movie, and uh, but it just showed that one could counter program. They complemented each other. They counter programmed. They came out. They weren't superhero movies. They weren't sequels. Yes, one was based on a toy. The other one was based on the life of the man who created the A bomb. But at the end of the day, they are both it felt like how going to the movies in the summer used to be before every movie was a sequel. Fast 9, Fast 10, Avengers this,
Right.
DC that, Star Wars. I mean, everything is a fucking sequel now. And I've had superhero fatigue for a little while, and it was just so refreshing. And Shauna and I, we went to see Barbie for the palate cleanser, laughed our asses off, had a great time, and then went to see Oppenheimer afterwards. And yeah, I mean, it's a really amazing movie with amazing performances. I mean, both movies are excellent in their own different ways. I mean, Ryan
Yes.
Gosling, I'm just Ken. Shuti Gatwa, who is one of the Kens, and Margot Robbie is excellent in it. And then you look at the all-star cast that they have in Oppenheimer with Cillian
Right.
Murphy and Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt. I mean, they just got this amazing cast, and it shows that there is still a market for if these movies are created and produced with excellence in them, excellent stars, excellent writing, and are put out, people will come and see them.
Right.
So, you know, these are the movies that drag me back to the cinema, not Nicole Kidman's AMC ad
And
that we have to sit through every time we go to fucking AMC.
for people that don't follow, box office numbers, this has been a terrible year for the most part for movie numbers. The exceptions were these two movies and Taylor Swift, but the movie industry has been hurting, and they tried to position the strike as a way for the studios to get more money from their talent, but that didn't work out. Barbenheimer showed that, hey, we can still have a very successful big number movies. Barbie
Absolutely.
is definitely in my top 5 for the year. Oppenheimer top 10 for me, but
They're
just
both,
misses.
yeah, they're both top five for me, along with Guardians and the Marvels. I put those two in there, even though they are superhero movies. But the Guardians 3 was excellent. I mean, it was James Gunn at his finest, and we've discussed the Marvels on another show, and it
Right.
was fantastic. And again, I will say to the haters who didn't like the Marvels, because there were three amazing women leading it, and it was directed by an amazing woman. Oh, just grow a pair, you sad spuds.
So, slight tangent. Is Oppenheimer your favorite Nolan movie?
I don't know. I don't know because look, I've seen Inception, which I still don't understand. I've seen was it 10 cent, 10 tangent, 10 cent, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't understand that one either. I actually think that The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of his, which ironically again is a Batman movie, but it has everything in it. I mean, it was just when that
Super
came
good.
out,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Batman Begins because it was the first movie as well Sean and I saw together. But The Dark Knight came out, and Heath Ledger and Bale, and Gary Oldman, and
Right.
everything just clicked. He tackled it as a heist movie, and it just worked. So yeah, I think that's probably my all-time favorite. But Oppenheimer's not far off.
I will go with The Prestige for my favorite Nolan movie.
I actually forget that is a Nolan movie, and
Yeah.
I would say that's probably top four for me. Yes, because again, amazing performances by the entire cast: Michael Caine, um, Hugh Jackman, and of course Christian Bale.
Right.
All do very, very well
Oh, I totally forgot this graphic that I
in it.
that's fantastic. And I'd like to see this movie just to see what that would be like.
Yes, that is very terrifying. All right, so what's next for you?
Yeah, you were just talking about the Marvels and Ms. Marvel, and I am thankful for Kamala Khan. She is my favorite comic book character, new comic book character in the last 20 years, along with Miles Morales. I just love this character from the G. Willow Wilson comics and her series, and now a movie, which I've actually seen in theaters 3 times because I bought one of those stupid movie pass things. And yeah, I love that she is a brown skinned person, child of immigrants, grew up on the East Coast. She's, her culture is very much a part of her upbringing, and it makes her different from the other people in her school. And just there's so much, even though there's a lot of differences I have with her character, there's just so much that I identify with. And Aman Vellani was just such a perfect choice for this character. I love that she's a comic book fangirl herself, and she just embodies the fangirl aspects of the Miss Marvel character. I love the Khan family. They were probably my favorite part of the Marvels, and I can't wait to see more of her adventures, whether I'm reading them, watching them, or Disney Plus, and hopefully seeing more of her on the big screen. I think Young Avengers would be awesome. She's just a wonderful, wonderful character that I love tremendously, and I can't wait to see what she does next.
I fully agree that Iman Vellani is a superstar in the making. She has this vibrancy about her,
Yeah,
and this just seems to be what is a genuine sweetness and excitedness. She was brilliant in the Miss Marvel TV series, and she's excellent, absolutely excellent in the Marvels, as are all three leads because I think they play off each other so well. They
yeah,
really are. It's like one of the best like ensembles, super teams or teams, if you will, that's out there, and I really hope we get to see them all again together because I think that's pretty amazing. So, yeah, I admit I was pretty uninformed about Kamala Khan, and the first time I really experienced her was actually the Avengers game, and she is the only good thing about that Avengers game. Thankfully, she is the focus for the most of the time, and while she's the focus, it's an enjoyable game despite numerous gameplay issues and a horrible engine. But then once you go into the actual Avengers, the game just drops through the floor. So Kamala Khan is, I went and started reading some of her comics then, especially when the uh, show was coming. And obviously, initially, she was an Inhuman.
right.
The Terrigen mists affected her. But now she's been retconned as a mutant. She died in Spider-Man's book and then came back to
Die.
life. Yeah.
Yes.
So she's had a banner like 18 months.
Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
I hope we get to see Miss Marvel season 2, and I hope we get to see the Marvels come back again because I really would like to see more of that particular trio of actresses on
That
the
would
big screen.
be amazing. And it's
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned her Inhuman origins. I mean, that was it was meant because Fox had the rights to the X-Men. Marvel was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this Inhumans thing. We're gonna make a show, and they're gonna be the big focus." And then the show was absolutely
Shite.
yeah. And
Yeah.
but when they had Kamala break out and she became popular, it was like, yeah, she's not gonna be an Inhuman for much longer. Like,
Well, that's because we own the X-Men again. We've got them
right.
all back, which is good.
Yes, we
Um,
should be thankful for that.
yes, we should indeed. We should indeed.
But yeah, Kamala is one of my favorite newer characters. And your next pick is one of our favorite older characters. Who you got, Marcus?
I have got everybody's favorite Frenchman via Yorkshire, the balding captain of the USS Enterprise, Picard, Star Trek Picard, Jean-Luc Picard, Sir Patrick Stewart,
Yes.
um, the fine actor. Now, this was season 3 that hit this year. Season 1 and season 2, I will be kind of say that they were uneven. They had some good points, they had some bad points. Season 3 of Picard was something that I never knew I wanted in my life. And
Ah,
that was another season of Star Trek The Next Generation. Because I'll be honest with you, I never really watched TNG when it first came out. I actually, and please don't tell anybody, keep it between you and me. I was actually a kind of a Voyager guy. I really dug Voyager. I mean, I'm Team Tom Paris. I'm Team Catherine Janeway, Neelix, the Doctor, Chakotay, Seven of Nine. I mean, that's my crew, yo. But I've got to say, I mean, it did help that we got to see Seven back in this, in Picard season 3. Apparently, we're going to get a spin-off series with Jerry Ryan, which is amazing. But
oh,
to see Data and Riker and Beverly Crusher and Deanna Troy um, interacting with him, and we see the Borg Queen, um, and we just see so much stuff, and it's just a great. Actually, no, the Borg Queen was last season, wasn't it? Was it? I can't
I'm
remember.
I'm I
I'm
didn't
older than you
finish
now.
season 2 yet. I'm behind.
Okay, okay. But anyway, look, what we got was a great story. Um, we got a great. It just again much like Doctor Who, where they brought back David Tennant and Donna Noble, Catherine Tate to be the Doctor and Donna. It was like greeting a bunch of old friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Seeing them, it's like slipping on your favorite cozy sweater, and pouring a cup of tea, and it's just cup of Earl Grey, of course. Um,
Can you
and it
do
was
it? Earl Grey, hot. Is that how he orders
the
it?
only way to have Earl Grey, my friend, is hot. So much so that again, Shauna actually for a couple of years ago, she got me a kettle for Christmas that actually has a proper tea setting for black tea
Ah,
that boils it to the right temperature. But yeah, it was just great, and there was a lot of sadness at the end of it, but happiness that we got to see it. Guinan was in there for a little bit. It was just a really good way to say goodbye to the next generation crew, and gives me hope that uh, we will see perhaps more of Voyager. I was never a Deep Space Nine kind of guy, but I would love to see more of the Voyager crew, and especially more of Seven of Nine with her little military rangers thing, where she flies the ships around and acts like Han Solo kind of thing, basically. Jerry Ryan's a boss. But yeah, I just thought it was great. I really did, and it's Paramount Plus has really done good things with Star Trek. We've got Discovery coming soon, the final season of which is again a fantastic series. Strange New Worlds dropped a season this earlier this year, which I haven't watched yet because we were going to binge watch it. We just haven't got around to it.
Uh-huh.
And then there's stuff like the Lower Decks, which is just absolutely
That's
batshit with
fantastic.
Jack Quaid in it, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's Huey from The
The
Boys,
Boys, yes.
son of
Dennis
I and Meg,
and not Randy.
and not right. God no. But yeah, that so yeah, Picard for me was just, again, it was great, and it was the best season, and it was just really good in everything it did.
I am a big fan of Lower Decks as well, and to me, Picard has been the best captain for Star Trek. I know there's a lot of Kirk versus Picard guys, but he was just the coolest.
Everybody can have their own
Yeah,
ending.
yeah, yeah.
Like I said, Janeway for me is perhaps one of my favorites, but again, Picard, absolute legend. But the whole Yorkshire accent, Frenchman who owns a vineyard, just doesn't make sense.
Did you ever watch Extras?
Yes.
I loved Patrick Stewart's been on Extras, and him and both him and Magneto were both excellent
Well,
in
him and Ian
Extras.
McKellen are old friends, obviously,
Yeah,
and they've performed together many a time, and yeah, those two are just brilliant. I mean, they're getting on in years, and one hopes they have
right.
a long time left. But it's like if there's a trio of actors I'd love to see together, it's McKellen, Stewart, and Sir Anthony Hopkins,
Ah,
because I think that would be a triumvirate to rival the Marvels,
that might be
the
too much.
octogenarian British Marvels.
That might be too much talent in one frame. I don't know if the
Yeah.
world can deal with that. So now we're getting to our number one picks of what we're thankful for in 2023, and I am thankful for this show. I mean, it's a new project that I got to start with a great friend, and
Who's that?
you.
Is Semmel coming on again?
And I'm at an age now where the most valuable thing to me is time, and I get to hang out in about an hour a week with one of my best friends, and I really appreciate this time and this thing that we built together. But most of all, I enjoy that I get to hang out with you. So I am thankful for that. And we brought new friends into this too. We got people in the comments section like Carlos, who pops up most episodes. So I am thankful for him, even though he is winning our fantasy football league by a lot right now. So
Let's not talk about this season, because I think this season should be a do-over. Hashtag asterisk. Asterisk. Look, again, I am with you. I didn't actually put this as number one on my list because you did, but I am very grateful for you. I'm very grateful for the show. I've loved coming back in to do something like this, and even though we do our listicles, our
yes,
listicles a lot. We have plans for next year.
yes,
To do a lot more things. I'll do an individual show. Ray already has his individual show. There's going to be more under the BeeRPad banner, because the BeeRPad is going to be the verge for the 25th century,
uh-huh.
or for 2024 or something like that. They're verging on the ridiculous, maybe. So yes, I am glad I get to do this with
Yeah,
you, and it's good to talk. And when we have Paul come in, or a couple of other people, it's fun. It is fun, and it's the best therapy a boy can have.
yes. And I want to hear more about your number one pick because it's someone I never got to meet, but I'd love to learn more about her.
Okay, so my number one pick, please bear with me because it's super indulgent. My number one pick is my mum. My number one pick, as you know, you may not know, I lost my mum in August, and just even talking about her gets me all verklempt, as they say. But I am grateful for the woman who gave me my life, who raised me, who was a single mom for a long, long time because my biological dad fucked off. She was the woman who got me to fall in love with sci-fi, with Doctor Who in particular. And I've said this before, so my earliest memory is watching Tom Baker battle a giant robot. In the episode's called The Robot. We were watching on the couch in our little house in Maesydderan in Llangennech in southwest Wales on a little black and white TV. My gran was there too. And my mum encouraged me to read. She encouraged my imagination. Uh, when I was playing with my toys, whether it be Action Man, my $6 million man, Action Man's British G.I. Joe. But, create stories with them. She encouraged me to do drama. And she really did make me the man I am today, for better or for worse. And she was there for 52 and a half years of my life. And not everybody gets that. Not everybody gets to have that time with a parent. Some people lose their parents way too early. A lot of people do, and it's sad. A lot of people are estranged from their parents because they just don't get on, and that's sad too. And I was lucky. I was so lucky. I spoke to my mum 3 or 4 times a week. So much so that not a day goes by that I don't miss her, miss picking up the phone and hearing her voice. But she gave me so much. And while I am heartbroken that she's gone, sorry, I am heartbroken that she's gone. I am so thankful that I had 52 and a half years with that amazing woman. And when I was writing her eulogy for her funeral service, so many good people came forward and shared things. And so many people turned up to the service, 160 plus people, which was amazing to show how loved she was. And she did so much right that she didn't have an easy life. And I only hope I can be half the person that she was. And I will continue to miss her, but I will continue to be thankful for her. And again, sorry about that. This is going to be the case, I think. I'm heading into a period now where I think I'm going to feel it more than ever, because December the 1st is my birthday. And it's the first year I won't get a card or a call from her. Ditto our wedding anniversary on the 12th, and then Christmas. I won't be video chatting with her. And December has always been our month, mine and hers. We love Christmas. We love getting the decorations up. She always used to get the decorations up the day before my birthday. So, and it's a tradition that, Shauna and I have embraced here, and we were getting the trees down earlier, and we're going to decorate this week. So yeah, it's going to be a very bittersweet month, but I am grateful and thankful for all the amazing Christmases and birthdays and all the Decembers I spent with her. And even when I left to move all the way over here in 1999, she was very supportive. And I'm very thankful for the 3 weeks I got with her last year. And it could have been a lot worse. I spoke to her a couple of days before she passed. And I'm thankful for that. So that's what I'm thankful for. I wish she was still here, but I will never stop being thankful for her.
She sounds amazing, Marcus. Now, let's go to something less amazing, the comments section. How was that for a segue? That was terrible.
And our viewers just went down to 0.
Carlos is against early Christmas decorating.
Okay, kick him, ban him, block him. He's done. I think you should also kick him out of the fantasy league. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your Christmas, Carlos, your Christmas bashing will not be tolerated here. This is a pro Christmas zone. Okay.
So, if he's still winning and like game week 37, just kick him out. That'd be hilarious.
I think it's time for financial fair play to kick in. And we are going to deduct his points, and just to piss him off.
Is that what you would like for Christmas, Mark? I'll kick Carlos out of the league.
Well, no, what I'd like for Christmas is for a certain Abu Dhabi-owned team to get if they're guilty. If they're guilty,
well, we'll see.
If they're guilty, it's not proven, they deserve all the plaudits that come their way. But if they are proven guilty,
They deserve
I hope
punishment. Absolutely.
they deserve a good spanking. But anyway, yes, I'm wearing a Christmas hat now. Thank you, Carlos.
Carlos also agrees. He's glad he's not the only one that has not enjoyed the past 4 Doctor Who series.
I didn't like it. My
Ooh.
wife didn't like it. You know who else who hated it? My mom. She hated
Oh.
it. She was so looking forward to David Tennant coming back.
And he also suggested the Hannah Waddingham Christmas special on Apple TV. Yes.
Does Carlos realize that there's no Turtle Beach giveaway today? He doesn't actually have to turn up because I know he just turns up and wins every week. So
God, he's won like 4 of those or something.
I think it's time that you put in a rule saying if Carlos wins, we got to go to the second person.
His favorite Nolan movies are The Dark Knight, Interstellar, and The Prestige. Yes, those are all.
Interstellar is another one I forget about, but I watched it. I think I watched that one while drunk, and I've never really been able to watch it again.
That would confuse the hell out of me drunk.
It would confuse the hell out of most people sober.
Yeah, that's true. Ew, Trek. Oh, Carlos is anti-Trek. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
there's room for all sci-fi.
And yes, he is happy that we acknowledge that he's winning the league after, what are we on? It's been match week 13 was passed, or
I don't know.
14?
I'm second from bottom, dude. I give up.
Maria Mo is thankful for you, me, and that other gentleman with beard.
Yes.
Well, gentleman with beard, no glasses.
Well, technically, I only have a goatee right now. I've done some shaving, so I actually have a goatee. So.
Did you use the Manscaped 4.0 that I see on every podcast?
No, I haven't used the Manscaped. I've had my shaver for about a decade, and I probably need a new one. So.
The less amazing. Well, come on. As much as I love our comment section,
yeah, it's a bit of humor. It's a bit of nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We love you.
Yes,
thank you. Take my wife, please. Take my comment section, please.
You agree that it goes to you actually came in second on a few of the drawings, Maria. So it would have gone to the same house anyway. So
I think literally I think Carlos has won enough now, and we need to put him on hiatus for a 12-month period.
That reminds me, I have to mail that stuff out now that the Turtle Beach stuff is over. And yes, see, she's acknowledging that you've been acknowledged.
Yes, we're acknowledging your acknowledgments.
So that's enough. You're no more acknowledgments until 2024 for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have a few things cooking for December. The rest of the year, we're going to do our favorite Christmas TV shows, movies, and I have to include songs just for one reason that you will see later. But it includes Bono singing the best line ever sang in a song.
Well, yeah. I mean, we are the king of the listicles in the kings of the listicles in 2023. 2024, we will veer towards more original content, but we also have to do our best of the year.
Yeah,
where we've got movies and TV. We can
games.
I don't listen to new music much anymore, so I'm not
that
sort of guy. I got to a certain age where I'm like, fuck all new music shit. But I am so down for the Christmas song one because I am the king of Christmas songs.
Oh,
well, in Britain it's a huge thing, and especially in the 80s and 90s. There are so many banging songs that never made it across the plot pond unless you listen to Ted Lasso or Doctor Who or whatever.
Well, I mean, the Pogues is growing up in New York.
Yeah. There's Shakin' Stevens, "Merry Christmas, Everyone." Obviously, we know the song with that there. Bono sings that line. There is Slade, "Merry Christmas, Everybody." Wizard, "I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day." I will have to share my awesome Christmas playlist with you.
Did you know that there were 3 Band-Aids?
Yes, I know. The other 2 sucked.
Yeah, the third one was so bad where they had that rap in the middle of it. It was horrible.
I actually have a Taylor Swift song in my
Oh,
favorite Christmas ones, and more than a few by Sia, because Sia did a Christmas album that's just
here's a great suggestion. Carlos says we should call the awards the besties. I'm down with that.
there
And
you
the
go.
bestie goes to Band
Should call
Aid,
them the Basties.
the besties. So yeah, we have a bunch of stuff coming in December that will be fun. And as Marcus mentioned, we will be doing more focused, original stuff and less list. Because
But
like
send
Hall
us.
and Oates, your kiss is not on my list. Or your
Oh,
list is
restraining
not.
order.
Yes.
Yeah, so send us your favorite things of 2023. I
Yes.
mean, it's not been the greatest year for a lot of people. I mean, personally, it's been the worst year of my life. But there've been a lot of good things. Um, so yeah, send us your top 5 movies, your top 5 games, or just top 5 things you've done in 2023 that
Yes.
have made you happy.
Top
Because
5 people you
that
slept with. And their
I
phone number.
think, yeah, I think given our audience and us, I mean, that's going to be a very. I don't think we can't. I can't go beyond one. I mean, I've been married for 11 years. And if
I'm
I, that's just a world of it. Plus, I've got prostate cancer. I'm dead from the neck down anyway. I mean, literally, it's like I could slap this thing, boom, boom, feel no pain. I mean, punch him, nothing there. Lights are on vaguely. Nobody's home. It's like there's a tumbleweed blowing around in the past. Sorry, is that too much information?
no.
This is what happens when prostate cancer strikes. So get your prostate checked, boys.
Yes. I'll do it
There's
for you.
still more.
No, I won't. So that'll wrap up our Thanksgiving episode. Thanks you guys for hanging out. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It really helps us out. And as Marcus said, drop your top 5 lists on us. Our Twitter is right there. Leave a comment on Facebook, on YouTube. And guys, we
Are
are
we on
thankful for
Threads?
you.
Are we on Threads?
We are not on Threads because it is tied to Instagram unless they separated that yet. But I would
Okay.
like to start a Threads.
If we end up on Threads, I'd like to get rid of Twitter because I am actually off Twitter now.
Oh, nice. I only use Twitter
I'm
to promote this. Like
I am over the asshole who owns Twitter.
he's
After
getting
his bullshit
crazy.
last week
Did
and
you
his
see
latest
today?
the
The
Pizzagate stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
what the
Um,
fuck?
his citizenship should be revoked. He should be kicked out of the country, sent back to South Africa. I mean, what do you expect of the rich, spoiled white kid who was raised in apartheid South Africa? So yeah, he's a scumbag. He's a fucking scumbag. Elon Musk is a scumbag.
Don't we both
And
drive Teslas?
we both drive Teslas, but at
I
the end of the
know.
day,
Yeah.
he didn't invent them.
Yes, that's true.
At the end of the day, I mean, he is basically he's the worst kind of credit stealer. He had nothing to do with Tesla. He just, he's just the chairman. But
Right.
they're gonna kick his ass out because the shares are dropping. I mean, he's cost this company so much money. They're gonna vote him out. He's a liability.
Isn't it less than half of what he bought it for? The worth of Twitter now or shitter?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's hemorrhaging money. Get off Twitter. I refuse to call it X. It's a stupid
Yeah.
name. But yeah, fuck Elon Musk.
Yes,
not
I'm thankful for that.
bastard.
Yeah. I am thankful for you wishing the fuckery on him. So, and with that, we will see you next time on the BeeRPad. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.